What's going on YouTube? Welcome back to Thomas Gallery. Today I want to talk about a very important subject. And it's pertaining really to my fellow artists out there. I call this controlling the information. Or you can say controlling the narrative. What I mean by that is I've noticed throughout history when it comes to us artists and our work and the impact of our work in our lives, both professionally and personally, we don't really do a good job at controlling our own narrative. We don't really get a chance to control what's being said about us and how we're being depicted in the world or just in our community in general. I find that to be a problem. Reason being is our work is very personal to us. We put a lot of effort into what we do. We put a lot of effort into what we perform, whether it be a role, whether it be a dance recital or choreography, whether it be a painting or sculpture, etc. We put a lot of effort and energy into this. So much so that it doesn't make any sense for us to just not take control of the backstory behind our lives or our work. A lot of times when an artist is doing their work, or when an artist becomes major, very well recognized, or when artists pass, we see their work, but we don't really know about the backstory behind the work. Not really. You really don't get a good sense of the person's state of mind when they were making that particular work, when they were doing that particular choreography, writing that particular story. You don't really get a backstory of that until later on. But I think it's time for us as artists of all sorts to get in the habit of writing, well, figuratively and literally writing our own stories while we are in the moment. That way, when that time comes when we passed on and all we have is our work left behind, we have a story to tell from our own perspective, not from someone else who knows us or from someone else who's done research on us. We have our own story written from us, whether it be make a video about it, whether it be writing a diary or a journal about it. But we have to take control of the narrative. We have to be the ones to tell the story first. It doesn't really happen like that. It's usually the artist does their work and someone else tells the story. And as close as they try to get to telling it from our perspective, you can't help, the person who's writing it can't help but put their own spin on the story written about us from them. So I think if we are going to take that same energy and effort into making that particular work of art, we have to be just as diligent, just as enthusiastic about writing our own narrative, controlling our own information, so we can tell the story of the work from our own brains, from our own hands, from our own mouths, from our own point of view, our own bias. And there's nothing wrong with someone else writing a story about the work, but it has a greater impact when the people know that it came from us, when it comes from our mouths, when it comes from our words, when it comes from our perspective. They know that. That's why whenever, like, I have a couple of journals, and in my journals you'll see pages and pages and pages of me talking about my artwork, talking about if I want to write something, talking about if I want to, write a story or what ideas I may have. Intellectual property, because I like knowing that my story will be told from my own mouth, from my own words, from my own hands. So there's never a misunderstanding, never a misinterpretation of how deeply I feel about my work. So when an artist comes generations after me, and somebody may look up my work and then they read my words, they won't have to speculate if this is from someone else's point of view. They will know that these words that they're reading about this particular work comes directly from me. You know, when people say, well, the artist was thinking about X, Y, and Z, then yes, they ask the question, well, how do you know that the artist was thinking this? Did you talk to them? Did you read anything that they said about the artwork? Did the artist mention anything about this particular artwork while they were alive? Did you hear it from them? Did they write it down? Or are you just speculating and are you just interpreting how this particular piece makes you feel? Look, I'll be honest with you. There are times where people may say, "Oh, this work is great. This work is great for me," and they would say, "Well, what were you thinking when you did this?" And the idea that popped in my head is so mundane, so ordinary, so benign that you would think, "Wow, I thought it was something deeper than that." No, it wasn't. But see, the point about all that is, when it comes from me, then you'll know. There's no speculation when it comes from quote unquote the horse's mouth. Okay, when you're getting it from the horse's mouth, there's no need to speculate about what I did or how I felt or what I thought about when I made this particular work of art. There's no more speculation. You will know fully how I felt, how deeply I felt about it, or how ordinary I felt about it. Whether or not I liked the piece, because the piece that made, like, it was like this. What if the Mona Lisa was a piece that Leonardo da Vinci actually hated? Think about that. Now you go to Paris, France. You go to the Louvre, and people just clamoring around the Mona Lisa, taking pictures. A sea of people, as far as I can see, all want to get close, take pictures of the Mona Lisa. They consider that his most famous work of art. What if Leonardo da Vinci hated that piece? What if one day a letter pops up from Leonardo da Vinci himself saying that, man, I wish I'd have burnt this piece. I hate it. I hate the way the lines look, all that stuff. I hate it. What would happen? Then you'll have a deeper understanding of the piece because you know, wow, why did Leonardo da Vinci feel this way? Man, that's something. The world loves it, but the person who made it don't like it. Or what if the reverse is the reverse is true? What if there's a piece that no one likes? That, like, this piece does nothing. It's all weird. It doesn't make any sense. It's messy. It's like blah 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 blah. But you look at the artist who made the piece, or like, let's say like a piece of music, right? Let's say there was a piece that Quincy Jones absolutely hated, but everyone loved. Or it could be a piece that Quincy Jones made that he absolutely, like, it's his favorite piece he's ever made in his life. It's his magnum opus, his great work. But everyone else doesn't like it. It's his least popular. It's his least talked about. No critical acclaim, but he absolutely loved it. Like that right there is his pride and joy. Then what will happen? But if you don't control the information, if you don't control the narrative, no one will know how you feel about this, how you feel about this piece, how you feel about this particular choreography. No one will know. So to all my artists out there, get in the habit of controlling every aspect of the information concerning you and your work. All right? Control the information. Control the narrative. You tell the story first. Tell the story first about your work. That way, anyone else that comes after will have to refer back to you every single time, which will elevate your work. They will have to come see you. Or they will have to come see your words. They will have to come see your video. They will have to come see your actions. They will have to come see you in any way, shape, form, or fashion to understand the intricacies and the details of the work that they so-called admire. Right? So that's all I got for now. Catch you all later. Peace.